Have you ever felt like you're giving everything, your time, your love, your energy, and still something feels off? He says the right words, but deep down, you feel the distance growing, like you're the only one fighting for the relationship to survive. Here's the hard truth most people avoid. When a man doesn't love you, he doesn't always say it. He shows it through silence, indifference, and the way he slowly stops showing up for you. And the longer you ignore those signs, the more you start losing yourself trying to earn a love that was never freely given. But once you learn to see clearly, to recognize the subtle, often painful truths behind his actions, everything changes. You stop begging for attention and start reclaiming your worth. In this video, we'll uncover 7 clear signs a man doesn't love you, not to break your heart, but to set you free from the illusion of love that's one-sided. Because sometimes letting go of the wrong man is the first step toward finding the love that's right for you. Number 1, you're the only one reaching out. If you ever find yourself begging for his attention, chasing messages, or constantly trying to earn scraps of affection, stop. That's not love. That's emotional starvation disguised as effort. A man who loves you will naturally move toward you. He'll initiate conversations, ask how your day was, and make you feel seen without you having to fight for it. But when you're always the one texting first, planning the dates, and trying to fix the silence, it's not because he's busy, it's because he's emotionally checked out. Here's a painful truth most people avoid. Love doesn't make you anxious. It makes you secure. When you're in a connection that's fading, your nervous system knows it before your mind does. You start waiting by the phone, second-guessing your worth, convincing yourself that if you just do a little more, maybe he'll come back around. But real love never demands you to beg for the bare minimum. Think of it this way. When someone truly values you, their effort feels consistent, not conditional. You don't have to chase their attention. It's freely given. The moment you feel like a servant trying to earn their affection, you've already lost the balance of love. A man who doesn't love you won't always say it directly. He'll show it through indifference, delayed replies, broken promises, and emotional distance. But here's the good news. When you stop chasing someone who doesn't value you, you create space for someone who will. Because real love doesn't make you plead for presence, it meets you halfway without being asked. Number 2, he doesn't invest in you, financially or emotionally. Let's get one thing straight. This isn't about gold digging or expecting luxury. It's about investment. Because a man's willingness to spend his time, energy, and yes, even money, reveals where his heart truly is. When a man genuinely loves a woman, generosity becomes natural. He wants to give, not to impress, but to care. It might be buying you dinner, surprising you with your favorite snack, or helping you out when life gets tough. The point isn't how much he spends. It's that he wants to contribute. Love expresses itself through effort, and effort always has a cost. Now contrast that with a man who never offers, never treats, never gives. He might say, "I'm just not into material stuff," or "money doesn't matter in love." But watch closely, because money always flows where emotion goes. If he spends freely on himself, his friends or hobbies, yet becomes stingy only with you, it's not about money, it's about priority. A man who values you will want to make your life a little easier, a little brighter. Even small gestures, buying you coffee, helping fix something, showing up when you need support, are signs that he's emotionally invested. But when a man with means refuses to spend a dime or an ounce of effort, it's a quiet confession. You're not his priority. Here's the truth. Love and generosity are twins. When one disappears, the other usually follows. So if you constantly find yourself explaining why you deserve the smallest gesture, remember, a man who truly loves you doesn't need convincing. He wants to give, because to him, your happiness is worth investing in. Number 3, if you have to beg for his time, his heart isn't in it. When a man truly loves you, presence becomes effortless. You won't have to remind him to call, to text, or to make plans. Because love doesn't need prompting. It moves on its own. But when you constantly find yourself waiting by the phone, rereading old messages, or wondering why days go by without hearing from him, that silence speaks louder than any excuse. Love doesn't forget to check in. Affection doesn't run out of time. A man who cares will want to stay connected, no matter how busy he is. Because when someone truly matters, they make time. They don't look for it. Here's the psychological truth. Attention is one of the purest forms of love. Where our attention goes, our heart follows. If you have to constantly ask for his attention, what you're really doing is asking him to care. And genuine love doesn't require reminders. Imagine this. You mention how much you miss spending time together, and he says, "I've just been busy." Yet somehow he has time to scroll on social media, hang out with friends, or binge his favorite shows. The truth isn't in his words, it's in his priorities. When a man is emotionally invested, communication becomes instinctive. He wants to hear your voice, to share his day, to know how you're doing, not because he has to, but because he can't help it. So if you're the only one keeping the connection alive, stop chasing consistency from someone who's content with your absence. Because love that's real doesn't need reminders. It shows up, even in silence. Number 4, if he surrounds himself with low-value women, he doesn't respect you. When a man truly loves you, his environment starts to reflect it. The kind of people he keeps around, especially women, tells you a lot about how seriously he values the relationship. If he constantly surrounds himself with women who flirt, cross boundaries, or carry themselves without self-respect, and he calls them just friends, that's not harmless. That's a quiet form of disrespect. A man who respects you will protect your emotional space, not test its limits. Because real love doesn't entertain temptation, it honors commitment. When a man keeps low-value women close, what he's really showing is that he values attention more than integrity. He wants validation, not connection. Psychologically, this behavior often comes from insecurity. Some men seek ego boosts from female attention to mask their emotional immaturity. They crave admiration because it makes them feel powerful. But here's the truth. A man who truly feels complete with you doesn't need outside validation. His loyalty is silent, consistent, and firm, even when you're not watching. Picture this. You see his phone light up with flirty messages, and when you express how it makes you feel, he laughs it off or says, "You're overreacting." That dismissal isn't confidence, it's avoidance. It's his way of saying your feelings are negotiable, and that's never love. A high-value man filters his environment with purpose. He knows that every connection he keeps either strengthens or weakens the bond he has with you. So if he's constantly entertaining women who cross lines, he's showing you exactly where you stand. And it's not at the center of his respect. Because when a man loves you, his actions don't invite doubt. They protect peace. Number 5, if he always chooses his friends over you, he doesn't see you as a priority. When a man truly loves you, your presence naturally becomes central in his life. It doesn't mean he abandons his friends, but his actions start to reflect a shift, a balance where you're not competing for his time or importance. So if you constantly find yourself second to his friends, if every plan, every decision, and every free moment revolves around them, it's a painful sign that he doesn't value your place in his world. Love always reveals itself through prioritization. A man who cares will want to share his time with you, not squeeze you into leftover moments. When he consistently chooses his friends over spending time with you, he's saying, without words, that your emotional needs come second. Imagine this. You're excited to spend a quiet weekend together, but at the last minute, he cancels because the guy's planned something. Or worse, when you express how that makes you feel, he says you're too needy. That response isn't love, it's avoidance dressed as independence. Psychologically, a man who constantly prioritizes his friends is often afraid of emotional intimacy. His social circle becomes a shield, a way to avoid vulnerability and the responsibility that comes with genuine connection. It's easier for him to blend in with friends than to show up emotionally for someone who truly sees him. But here's the truth. A man in love doesn't make you chase his time. He doesn't need reminders to show up. He wants to. Because when a man values you, your happiness becomes part of his own. So if you always come second to his friends, pay attention. You're not asking for too much. You're simply asking the wrong person. A man who truly loves you will never make you feel like an interruption in his life. You'll feel like the reason it matters. Number 6. If he always turns to you for money, he's dependent, not in love. There's a difference between being supportive and being used. Love thrives on mutual growth, not dependency. So if a man constantly relies on you to rescue him financially, always borrowing, always needing help, and rarely taking responsibility, that's not love. That's convenience disguised as connection. True love inspires effort. When a man genuinely cares for you, he wants to contribute, not consume. He wants to stand beside you, not on top of your generosity. But when he's always in financial chaos, and you're always the one picking up the pieces, the meals, the rent, the temporary loans that are never repaid, you've stopped being a partner. You've become a lifeline he's unwilling to swim without. Here's the key psychological insight. Genuine affection motivates self-improvement. A man in love will feel pride in being capable, in providing, in protecting what you build together. But a man who uses love as a financial safety net has no intention of changing. He doesn't see your help as support. He sees it as a resource. Imagine this. Every time he's in trouble, he calls you. But when you need something, emotional support, time, or care, he suddenly disappears. That imbalance reveals everything. His attachment isn't emotional, it's transactional. Love is not measured by how much you give, but by how equally you're met. The moment you start feeling like his wallet instead of his woman, you've already stepped out of love and into obligation. A man who truly loves you won't drain your energy or your bank account. He'll rise with you, not at your expense. Number 7, if he compares you to other women, he doesn't love you. He diminishes you. When a man truly loves a woman, he doesn't make her feel like she's in competition with anyone. Comparison is the slowest form of emotional erosion. It chips away at your confidence until you start questioning your worth. If he constantly points out what other women do better, how someone dresses, talks, or looks, he's not trying to motivate you. He's trying to control you through insecurity. Because deep down, men who belittle the women they're with aren't in love. They're seeking power. True affection builds, it doesn't break. A loving man will celebrate your accomplishments, not minimize them to protect his fragile ego. He'll say, "I'm proud of you," not "you got lucky." When he loves you, your success feels like his success too, not a threat. Here's a truth most people overlook. Comparison is projection. When he says, "Other women are more feminine," what he really means is, "I don't feel man enough beside you." His words reveal his insecurity, not your inadequacy. So if you find yourself constantly defending your achievements or feeling like you're never enough, take a step back. Love should make you feel seen, valued, and safe, not smaller, quieter, or more compliant. The right man won't compare you. He'll choose you fully, proudly, and without hesitation. Because real love doesn't measure, it honors.